Florida. And check out their awesome merchandise selection of your favorite South Florida sports teams. From the Miami Dolphins, Hurricanes, Heat, Marlins, Florida Panthers, and Inter Miami, they've got it all. Celebrate your favorite team and show off your fandom with their beautiful team starter jackets, killer-looking helmets, team jerseys, cool shirts, and more. And if you're out of town or out of state, no worries. Go to caneswear.com and find everything they have on their site. Select what you want, and they will ship your gear to you. Anything over $99 is shipped for free. Don't wait. Stop at Caneswear today.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you a little dose of reality.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Real Talk Rants. We're going to have a great show tonight. I welcome everybody in here tonight. I appreciate you for joining. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, share with your friends, your families, and your neighbors. And also, don't forget to subscribe. But definitely hit that like button. And if you're on another platform somewhere else, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, come on over here and join us over here at the YouTube channel, Real Talk Rants, and join the community here where you get to interact with your fellow Dolphins. So please come over here and do that and hit that like button as well. Wow. Well, we had our first preseason game last Friday. We did win that game 20-13. So a good showing. We won. We had a lot of good things that happened in that game. We had a lot of bad stuff. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because, a lot of folks, they're hyping all these players up and, they're already making them out to be, all pros or getting ready, in the next 20 years to be put into the Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of these players that played last night, and I'm going to give you a dose of reality, are second and third string players. The Atlanta Falcons were playing their second and third string and fourth string players. Okay? And so was Miami. So I'm not going to put a lot of hype into all these players. Did some of these players do well? Yes, they did. They did really well. And we'll get into that. But first thing I want to talk about is the news. The good news. Jalen Phillips is back in practice. He's back practicing with the Miami Dolphins. That's a great thing. That doesn't put a lot of pressure on Chop Robinson or Mo Camara to come back and start, right? Not come back and start, but actually be thrown into the fire and start right away. Now here's my concern with and by the way, so Samad Ahmed is back as well. He's back practicing. I believe he's out of his boot, but they took him off the PUP. Hopefully he doesn't get another setback as well. I'm hoping that Jalen Phillips. They don't rush him. They don't push him, right? They keep him on a snap count, when the regular season starts. I think it's looking very good that he will start the first game and start the Jacksonville game at the Hard Rock Stadium. So, but I think they should put him on a snap count, and I think they will put him on a snap count. Hey, Raphael, California's in the house. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. I appreciate y'all joining. So yeah, I think they'll put him on a snap count. Let's not rush this guy back. All we need is another setback with Jalen Phillips, and he may be gone for the season, right? We don't want that. So, but I'm happy that he's back. Doesn't put a lot of pressure, as I said, now for the organization or Chop Robinson and Kamara to be put, thrown to the fire, right? So, talking about Chop Robinson, he did not play the first exhibition or first exhibition game or preseason, however you want to say it. He was a little banged up, a little hurt, I guess, but he did practice today. So look, Chop Robinson, I'm glad that he's not going to be thrown to the fire, right? He's going to be more of a rotational player starting out now that Jalen Phillips is back, right? And we got Quentin Bell. Quentin Bell has been playing well. I think he makes the roster. He's been doing real well in practice, and also he did really good in the opener against the Atlanta Falcons. So I think he makes the team. And he'll be in there with the rotation with, I'm sure, Chop Robinson. Look, Chop Robinson, this is just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know this for sure. I hope he changes my mind. I think he's just a pass rush specialist, period. At least his first year, right? First 1 or 2 years. Sure, he's quick off the ball and all that stuff, but that speed is not going to do anything for you if you're running into a 330 pound tackle that isn't going to let you get by. All right. And that's what's been happening in practice. Once that offensive tackle gets a hold of him, he's done. He's finished. Okay. So he's going to be used more as a pass rushing special, at least, his first 2 years of football. And he's not very good against the run. He'll probably be utilized, knowing what we've seen thus far in Anthony Weaver. He's been moving around his players, disguises and stunts and things of that nature. Not a lot, but you saw some. You got a taste of it in the Falcons game when Channing Tindall made that sack. That's another thing. Everybody's, oh my God, Channing Tindall, he's coming back. He's coming around. He's going to make the team. Look at that. He sacked the quarterback. Yeah, but did you watch the other 10 or 15 plays that he didn't make? The tackles that he missed? He was out of position, especially in coverage. So Channing Tindall, I do not think is going to make this team. I really don't. The only way he's going to make this team is if they need somebody really bad in special teams. He does really well in the special teams position. He does good in special teams. But as far as a 3-down linebacker, even a rotational linebacker, say la vie, he's not going to be the guy. Okay. He's just not. Hey, Adam, thanks for joining, brother. Fins up to you too, as well, brother. So that's my take on Chop Robinson. Mo Kamara, this jury's out on him. I don't know what he's done. I haven't really heard much about him. We still have some linebackers that didn't practice. Jordan Brooks, I don't believe, practiced. Anthony Walker hasn't practiced. On defense, who else? Not Tanner Connor. What's his name? Bonner. Ethan Bonner. He had a concussion, so he's on concussion protocol. He's hurt. Jordan Poyer is hurt. His thumb is in a cast, so he's hurt. Who else is hurt? And we had and we have two guys that Grayson Murphy is out probably for the season. Keon Smith out for the season. Not saying that he would have made the club, possibly, or maybe a backup or practice squad. But anyway, prayers to him. Hope all of those guys get well. And there was someone else that is out for the season as too that was playing well. I don't remember the name. If y'all remember the name, let me know. Yeah. Tanner Connor. Yes, injury. I guess it could be the ribs, from what I understand. That's correct, Raphael. So Tanner Connor is hurt. He's another guy I don't think is going to make the 53. But I don't know. What's it? Fotson or Fortson? Um, from what I've heard, he's a better blocker than Connor. Connor made decent catch and run, but he's not very good at blocking. Terrible. If you look at his PFF scores in the run blocking, he's terrible. He's terrible. Very. In fact, all of the Miami Dolphins offensive line were mediocre at best when it came to run blocking. Okay, they were. Pass blocking, they all did pretty well. Driscoll had a good game pass blocking. Patrick Paul had a good game pass blocking. Again, keep in mind, everybody said, "Look at him! He pushed that guy 15 yards down the field." The guy was a freaking cornerback or defensive back, if I remember correctly, or it might have been a linebacker, but he was much bigger than him. Okay, so let's not get all carried away and start jumping up and down and saying this guy's a beast, he's a monster. Let's see him play against some really good quality offensive tackles in the regular season, if he even gets the opportunity in the regular season. But he had a good game against second and third and fourth stringers. He had a good game. Okay. He needs the reps. This is another thing. We are really going to get to see what if Butch Berry is for real or not. Okay. Everybody's been praising, not everybody, a lot of folks have been praising Butch Berry. Oh, well, look what a great job he's done with this O-line and all that. Personally, I think it has a lot to do with McDaniel's scheme, the way that it's set up. That's what I think. But the true test for Butch Berry is Patrick Paul. Let's see how he can develop Patrick Paul this year. Okay, let's see how he can develop him. That's going to be the true test in my mind for Butch Berry. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about? The new depth chart has come out. Maybe we'll go over that here a little later. Yeah, Cam Brown. Thank you, Raphael. Cam Brown. I couldn't remember who that was. Now, Cam Brown, I liked. He's definitely was a special teams ace. He was very good, and he played some. He was playing some good football on defense. I think he would have been. He would have made the 53. I was sorry to see him. Get hurt. But yeah. That's the other guy, Cam Brown. We still haven't seen Odell Beckham. Haven't seen Waddle in a few days. I think Barrios is back practicing, but he was having some issues, injury issues. So I don't know. And see, this is what there's two things that concern me this year so far. All right, one I already said. I've been talking about. I have a lot of questions on this defense, and I still do. Okay, even though Jalen Phillips is back, I still have questions on number one, is he going to be 100%? Right? Number two, these older guys on defense, Ramsey is going to be moving around a lot. He's going to be playing in the box. At least that's what we've seen in practice, right? He didn't play the preseason game, but he's been moving around. He's been, playing the run, getting to the quarterback, things of that nature. Calais Campbell's older guy. Boyer, is he going to hold up? That's my concern. Are these older guys, are they going to hold up? Are they going to make it through a 17-game season? So those are the questions that I have on defense, and I still do. And number two, how is the load management program working out? how's the load management program working out? To me, it doesn't seem like it's working out too well because our players are dropping like flies. Even before the preseason game, our players were dropping like flies. And we had 5 or 6 players go down in the preseason game. So here's the thing. We heard Tua talking, was it today or I think it was, and he sounds like he wants to play preseason, right? Are they going to let him play preseason game? Are they going to let the first team go in there? Armstead? Because Armstead hasn't practiced a lick. I don't even think he's done any individual stuff, right? Chubb hasn't done any individual stuff. Odell Beckham was doing some stuff. He was doing some individual stuff, but he's still not off PUP. So my concern is if these guys are dropping like flies, right? Some of the younger guys and some of the second string and third string guys, what's going to happen to the first string guys? What's going to happen to the first string guys? I say, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm really confused. Do we play the first string guys for, a series in the preseason game against the Commanders? Or do we rest them? Because they got to, at some point, they got to get the rust off, right? They got to get used to hitting. Even Tua said that we got to get used to some contact, right? They haven't had any, the first string. So, but I don't know, man. The concern I have again this year is injuries. Again, Wynn hasn't played any this year. And that's another thing I have concerns about is not so much about the offensive line. I don't have the concerns that some people have about the offensive line if it's good enough, right? I have, because in this scheme, I think this offensive line will be fine. Okay, I really do. I think they'll be just fine. But here's my concern: they haven't had any cohesion all summer. All right, they've been playing musical chairs with these offensive linemen, and it's whether I feel comfortable with whoever they put in there or not doesn't matter if they're injured or haven't played together, right? They've got to, at some point, they've got to get a lineup to get some cohesion going, right? No cohesion with Odell Beckham in Tua Tagovailoa, right? And another thing, he took all the reps in practice. Skyler and Mike White, I guess, were being punished because of their play in the Atlanta game, right? So Tua took all the reps. Now, I don't know if that's a sign that he will play this preseason game coming up. I don't know how long Skyler and Mike White are going to be on punishment. But, oh, God. Look, that's another thing folks have been very concerned about is they were saying, oh, man, if Tua goes down, we're screwed. Yeah, we are. We are screwed, right? Because this offense is not going to budge. It's going to be the same offense that it has been the last 2 or 3 years, right? And Tua Tagovailoa is the only one, and it's true, on the team. He is the only one that can run this particular offense that we've been playing with, right? All the motion, they call it the cheat motion and the pass-orientated offense and all that kind of stuff, and the fast, the quick passes. Skyler is not going to be isn't going to be the Tua Tagovailoa if Tua goes down. He does not have a quick release. Either does Mike White. Okay, so if Tua goes down, I believe we are screwed. Okay, and I know a lot of folks just want to say, "Well, bring Ryan Tannehill." As much as I like Ryan Tannehill, right? As much as I like Ryan Tannehill, I think he's a very accurate passer when he has time. He stands in the pocket and take a lick, but he really shouldn't have to. His pocket presence isn't very well. Can he go off script? Yeah, he can go off script, but this offense is designed for that first, second read, quick open, hit that guy kind of pass. And I don't think Ryan Tannehill fits the bill, to be honest with you. I really don't. As much as I like Ryan Tannehill. Um, and here's something about Ryan Tannehill too. Uh, one of the beat reporters, I think it was Alan Poupard, right? He said that Ryan Tannehill was a wide receiver in Texas, right? Well, yes, he was a wide receiver. Because he wasn't the starting quarterback at the time, and he wanted to play, and he's a great athlete. And in fact, if you look at his stats, he was very good wide receiver. Okay, but he was not recruited out of high school as a wide receiver. He was a quarterback. He was a quarterback here in Texas. Okay. So all this bull crap about, oh, he was a wide receiver converted to quarterback. No, he was a quarterback converted to wide receiver because they needed a wide receiver at the time and they had a starting quarterback already. So that's why he was playing wide receiver. Anyway, I got that out of the way. I'm feeling good, B McD. How are you, brother? Appreciate you for joining. Make sure you all hit that like button. Um, yeah. So those were the players that stand. The one player that I think that stood out is going back to the preseason game. Patrick Paul, Jalen Wright, and McMorris. I think it is McMorris, the safety. He got the game ball. So McMorris got the game ball, even ahead of Needham. So Needham better be on his P's and Q's along with Cater Kohu. But anyway, so McMorris played well. Bonner played okay at times, but Jalen Wright, here's what I want to say about Jalen Wright. Jalen Wright made a couple of really good plays. I think he has good vision. He has a little power to him. But again, I'm not going to turn him into a Hall of Fame running back, and he hasn't played one snap in the NFL yet in the regular season. Okay. Yes, he has potential. Okay. Is he going to be a premier back? Not this year. Achane, Mostert, and you've got well, I would like to see Brooks as opposed to Wilson, but we'll see. I think they're battling it out. Ahmed, I don't know, man. They like Ahmed. He seems to squeeze in there every year. I'm not a big Ahmed fan because he's too similar to Achane, although he's not as fast. Achane and Mostert and all that kind of stuff. Like he does the same thing. The only guy that's the odd man in the group, really, out of all the running backs, is Chris Brooks. He's the biggest guy. He's got the most power. He runs very aggressive, and he's the better blocker. Although Jalen Wright is a pretty decent blocker, from what I observed in the game last week. He was a decent blocker there. But yeah, I'd like to see Brooks make the club. As of now, this is how I see it. It's Mostert, Achane, of course, Jalen Wright's going to make it, and I'm hoping Brooks, and then it's going to be between Wilson and Ahmed. They're probably going to keep 5 running backs, maybe 4, but I think they'll keep 5. So I don't know. I've got to see Ahmed, see how he's playing when, if he's going to play at all, this week in the preseason game. And I've got to see a little more out of Wilson. And Wilson got banged up too, by the way. He was injured in the game as well. So he was banged up as well. So that's another thing about Wilson. All our running backs, to be honest with you, Wilson hurt. Mostert gets hurt. Achane got hurt in preseason last year and in the regular season, right? And Brooks got hurt. Jalen Wright is the only guy, and Ingold are the only 2 that haven't got hurt, and that's because Wright hasn't played an NFL game. So we'll see. So hopefully he's durable. But I wanted to get back to the I know I'm going around the bush here, beating around the bush here, but I wanted to go back to this I know everybody said, well, Miami ran really well and Jalen Wright ran really well and all that kind of stuff. Yes, he did. But if you notice, there was a lot of runs for minus yards, -1, -2, -5. Then he get a big 10-yarder or a big 7 or 8-yarder, right? No consistency in the running game. So, in order for Miami to be successful this year, okay, in order for them to be successful this year, especially in December and January, they've got to be very consistent in the run game. Doesn't mean they have to go, make 30-yard runs or 40-yard runs and then the rest 10-yard losses, 4-yard losses, 3-yard loss. No, I want to see them getting 3 and 4 yards consistently. Consistently is the key. Is they need to get those 3 or 4 yards consistent basis. That's what they need to do. And if they break a big one, that's a bonus. But I want to see more consistency out of our run game. What did Raphael say? I think Ryan Tannehill or Justin Fields goes to the Vikings. Rookie quarterback gonna have meniscus surgery. Yeah. It's I was sorry to hear that. He tore his meniscus, McCarthy. So maybe Tannehill does go there and backs up Jalen Fields, right? Is it so? Not Jay. No, Fields is in Pittsburgh. But yeah, Justin Fields. I guess he could go to Minnesota. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. California says Tua should have been on punishment for losing us the KC game. Yeah. That ain't gonna happen, man. Him and McDaniel are like two peas in a pod, man. But anyway, Sam Darnold. You think Sam Darnold is going to go to the Vikings, or you think we could use Sam Darnold here, California? Why'd you bring up Sam Darnold? But anyway, so that he's with the Vikings, ain't he? Oh, maybe he is with the Vikings. I don't know. That's a good question, California. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Sam Darnold he's the starter for the Vikings. Okay. All right. I haven't been keeping up with the Vikings or any of the other teams. Very little research have I done on any of the other teams. So I'm way behind when it comes to that. But anyway, getting back to the Miami Dolphins and a little dose of reality. Yeah, so I'm not gonna start clapping and jumping up and down for this O-line. Although they did a decent job in Atlanta game when it came to pass blocking, run blocking, not so much. But right now, Aaron Brewer is out, right? He hurt his hand. I think it's his snapping hand, and it's week to week, according to Mike McDaniel. So right now, our starters are Liam Eichenberg, center. Jack Driscoll will be our right guard for now. And our left guard is Robert Jones. I like Robert Jones. At that position. Whether he can beat out when he comes back, if he comes back or not, we'll see. But I like Robert Jones. Actually, I think to be quite frank, I think that honestly, Liam Eichenberg is a better center than he is guard or tackle, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. What's California say? Teron is always hurt, so Paul might see more action than people think. Yeah, that's a good point. He might. I'd rather not see him out there, to be honest with you, this year. We don't want any setbacks with him, like Austin Jackson took him a while. Took Liam Eichenberg. He's still a problem child, right? Um, because they threw him into the fire like that. No kind of development. They just threw him in there. Um, I really like to see what Butchberry can do with Patrick Paul. That will speak volumes if he can do anything with him, if he can develop him, and he can be a solid starter next year for us. Now, will Terran Armstead go down this year? Look, I'm hoping he doesn't, but history tells us that he will. I think Kendall Lamb will fill in for him, though. California, how's it going, EM? Appreciate you joining, brother. I think Kendall Lamb will fill in for Terran Armstead. Terran Armstead, when he went down last year, Kendall Lamb did a very good job filling in Terran Armstead's shoes. He did a really good job. Okay, so I think that's what's going to happen. I mean, if they feel that Paul's good enough and he beats out Kendall Lamb, sure, play him by all means. Okay. But I really like to see him sit behind Armstead, learn from him, and now that Jalen Phillips is back, maybe Patrick Paul can go up against him a little bit in practice. That iron sharps iron, right? So maybe, that will also help Patrick Paul out in that respect. So, but he had a good game. As I said, Patrick Paul had a good game, but it was against the second and third stringers. I think he's just a development player right now. I don't know if he's going to start. If I could be wrong. I'm not an expert in the offensive line. So, anyway, but I do believe that this offensive line will be good enough this year as it was last year, even with all the musical chairs we played last year with the offensive line. With the system that's in place, Tua getting the ball out at 2.4, 2.5 seconds, and the speedy receivers that we have in Waddle and Tyreek Hill, I think we'll be just fine. I think we'll be okay. And don't forget, we also have Jono Smith, another guy that's pretty quick, pretty fast guy. He did an end around today in practice. I saw that in the video on X. I don't know if you all saw that, but he did. They gave him a handoff, and he did an end around. So I don't know. What I'd like to see this year is Mike McDaniel mixing up the plays, not being so pass centric. I really like to see him run the ball a little more, and throw the ball around, maybe even some short check down passes. I know I've seen that in practices this past summer too, some check downs. As I said earlier, I was excited to see Tua go through his progressions, to his second and his third read and making really good decisions in practice. He looks a little more elusive than he has been in the past. I'm not expecting him to, to have any design plays or anything going into the regular season, but it would be nice to see him roll out a little bit more, kind of create off script a little more. Maybe they have some of that planned this year. We'll see. At least that's what I've been seeing in practice. They have been doing a little more. He's been doing a little more running rollouts and things like that. So hopefully, they'll change it up a little bit this year. I know Mike McDaniel, Chris Perkins was saying that he was observing Mike McDaniel in practice, and he was calling some run plays. They had Chris Brooks on the goal line, right, on those red zone plays and things. They had him lined up as the running back, and they were running the ball. So I'd like to see more of that this year as well, as opposed to those little dump offs, in the 1 or 2 yard line. Let's just get physical and, you know, pile drive those defensive linemen, back and score by running, right? Get physical. Let's not just talk about it. I know they've been talking about it all camp. We're going to be the bullies and all this. Well, bullies get their ass kicked sometimes, right? I don't want them to be bullies. I want them to be physical. You don't have to talk crap in order to be physical, right? I want them to be more physical. Physicality is what I want to see this year. Physicality, not against the peepsqueak teams. I want to see physicality against Buffalo, right? Against Cleveland, against Jacksonville, against the Jets. They got a good defense. Don't count the Jets out yet. Okay. I know a lot of folks that, think the Jets are dysfunctional there. Those guys have a team. Okay. Think about it. They got 3-4 defensive tackles, right? That can start for any team. They got linebacking core. They got a safety, cornerback. Okay. They got 2 running backs. They got their quarterback. If it, not saying we don't know, I'm only speculating, but if Aaron Rodgers is at 70-80% that he has been, before, they're going to have a good team, a good offense and defense. That's something they've been lacking for a couple years, is an offense. They've had a good defense, but your defense with no offense can only do so much. So I think the Jets are going to be very, very competitive this year, guys. But anyway, now Buffalo might have taken a step back a little bit. I think they have, but we'll see. We'll see, right? That's the team that we're going to have to beat. But it's going to be a rough start, guys. It's going to be a rough start this year, I think. If these injuries start piling up during the preseason, even if they're just the depth players, the second team guys or third string guys, it's going to hurt, because that means if Terran Armstead goes down, we're in trouble. That means if Mostert goes down or Achane goes down, we're in trouble. If one of the wide receivers go down, we're in trouble. Which I want to talk a little bit about the wide receivers. Projected starters are going to be Odell Beckham. Hey, pretty boy, how you doing, brother? Odell Beckham, of course, Waddle, Tyreek Hill. I think Craycraft's going to make the team. And I think Barrios and Malik Washington will be on this team as well. Okay. I think what's saving, well, here's the thing too. Malik Williams, if he's going to be on special teams like receiving kicks and punts, and he does well at that job, and he's solid, Barrios' job might be on the line. It might be on the line, and they might just go on ahead and keep like Eazy-E or one of the other wide receivers. But I don't know. We'll see. Eazy-E's coming back from injury. I know he was at practice today too. So let's see how he if he's back to form in the preseason, right? But that's what I project the wide receivers, unless Malik Washington makes a big jump, leaps and bounds. I still think Barrios is going to be on this team. Malik hasn't really. Malik is still feeling his way around in the NFL. Okay, and they're actually working him at multiple positions at the wide receiver. Right, they got him in the slot. They got him, on the outside. So he has a lot to learn. Okay, and that's a lot on a rookie wide receiver's plate. Right. Remember, Eazy-E had a hard time with that the year before last, right? Last year, they started to incorporate him a little bit, right? He was mostly used like in a Deebo Samuel role. So I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on that position, wide receiver. Hey MDC, what's up? What's up? Make sure you guys go over there and check MDC out. And they got a good show over there as well. So make sure you check them out. Let's see. That's about all I had to talk about tonight. Um, I already told you my concerns was the injuries, the cohesion of the offensive line. They need to put somebody in those positions and just play them, you know, and because we need some cohesion in that offensive line. Um, but I think we'll be good if we can get the cohesion going, and and we can prevent anyone else from getting injuries. I think we'll be in good shape starting the regular season. But right now, there's a lot of guys that are not healthy, banged up, just from the first preseason game, guys. So we'll see what happens, man. But listen, I appreciate all you guys joining me tonight. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And then I've always say hit that like button. It helps with sending out the notifications to you all. And but yeah, man. So we'll see what happens. We play the Washington Commanders on Saturday. I'm really excited, about this game. I want to see some of these guys like Jalen Wright again, Malik Washington, Patrick Palm. I want to see how those guys perform. I don't know if Chop is going to start or not. Really curious to see how he turns out and what he can do. Grant you again, excuse me, guys. It's only the second and third team guys. Okay. So let's not get all, excited and elated, and well, get excited and elated. I get it. We're all Dolphin fans, but I'm saying let's not look too much into this. Okay. It's still preseason. And they're playing against the second and third stringers guys. Anyway, I'll see if I can do a show again on, let's see, today is Tuesday. I might try to put together a show sometime during the middle of the week, maybe Thursday, maybe Friday. And then, and Saturday, I'll probably do another show for sure at around 1:30, 2 p.m. That would be, well, it would be, no, I take that back. It would be 3:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I'll try to do one 3:30 Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, before the game, or maybe well, no, the game is in the morning, I believe. You know what? I won't do a show on Saturday. I'll probably do a show on Friday. It'd be like a pregame show, kind of a warm up to the regular season, because I'll be doing pregames for the regular season and everything. So we'll do a Friday, maybe a Friday evening show. And but keep watch on the Fence Talk Sports Network. I'll put it up there if I'm going to do a show this Friday. And also, remember, guys, we have some other great shows on the Fence Talk Sports Network. Okay, we got the Fence Bandwagon coming up, I think, before the regular season starts. We have Overtime, Fence Talk Todays on Saturdays. We have the East Street 10th Boys, with Bobby and Alex. They even have a really good show that's starting out. Harrison, his brother, Bobby's brother, has a card show where they'll be opening up boxes of cards and going over that kind of stuff if you're into the collecting cards. So that's going to start, I believe, Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you're all interested in that. But go ahead and check out the menu of the Fence Talk Sports Network, and all that should be up there when those shows start and all that kind of stuff. Okay, guys? So, with that said, guys, I'm going to call it a night and say, God bless. See you next time.
Miami Dolphin fan, let me ask you something. Do you love the Dolphins?